Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. Here we go again. Here goes nothing. Okay, this video is senior prepper. So I switched it to senior prepper, but it could be any prepper. Because seniors have some of the lowest incomes. And so prepping when you're retired is probably one of the best things you could possibly do for yourself. Okay, once you get a food storage, and that's why I did the food storage yesterday. This thing is still a little crooked there. Then you're going to be able to save a little money. So you might be thinking, are you kidding? I can't save any money. Well, we're going to discuss that. Okay, so I bought these little Smokies. I've had them twice. Yesterday I had them in Top Ramen. You didn't see it, but I did. And these were 2 for $1. So that was a fabulous deal. So at night when I eat dinner, I try to eat 4 to 5 ounces of meat. So 6 of these are a half a cup or a quarter pound. So in here, I'm not going to be suffering. In here I have a can of chili, and I melted some cheese on top. And so I'm making dinner here, and I want to show you how I do it, because everybody's approach might be different. So I've been doing stockpiling all of my life because Mormons, I was raised a Mormon, and I have never known one that didn't store food, a real one. Maybe some of the converts have forgotten, but none of the originals have forgotten that they were run out of Missouri, some of them in the dead of winter. Some of them had to cross the U.S. on foot from Missouri, some of them Illinois, to Utah, some of them Nevada. So these are tasty. You can do a lot of things with these. So I just want to put them on top of my chili. 1, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's what we have so far. Okay, so now I want to make a tasty little meal for myself. All right. Life is good. Okay. All right. Let me make the meal, then we'll continue. Okay. So what I like to do is make a large meal, a fairly large meal, and then if there is any left, I'm going to, oh no, I almost forgot one of the most important things. Okay, so now I want a big meal. I don't want to go hungry. When you're trying to save money or when you're broke, the worst thing that can possibly happen is you get that feeling of, I'm hungry, I'm so miserable, I can't stand it. And then when you do get some money, that's when real bad things can happen. I love this. This is a universal lid. I'm trying to find more and I can't. So I want to make a sunny side up egg. Okay, discount shopping, and I bought, okay, so first of all, let me talk about this. Okay, when I noticed these were starting to climb, see, they have it over rice. That's not how I'm making mine. But these started to climb, and when they started to go over $2 per can, I thought, are you kidding? So I bought a few of these canned soups when they were on sale. Now this soup is $3.29. So if you think it's gone from $2 to $3, that is a 33% increase. And it hasn't been that long. That is not a 3%. They don't count food in inflation. discount shopping. So I had bought this, I had that in the stockpile. So this is where we're going with that. And then I bought the little Smokies, which were beef, for 50 cents. And I bought these tomato soups because I noticed that when I was doing the stockpiling, I tend to go for tomato soup. So, okay, I'm a senior, I'm in my house, I'm, you know, making some food. I usually eat this kind of stuff at noon. Okay. I was trying to cause the little Smokies and the cheese to be on top, but that didn't work out. Okay, so now this is 3 tablespoons of white rice. So what I like to do is try to put the rice on one side as best I can. So, no starving. So this is, the idea of this meal is not expensive and plenty of food. And then I want to put my egg on top of my rice. Yesterday I had, here we go. I don't want my followers starving. That's unacceptable. Sometimes I think about, you know, doing this YouTube pretty much nightly. And I think, I don't know whatever possessed me to do it. But it is a good thing I did. Now, I also made something very tasty yesterday, which you didn't see, but I did make it, and it is a tasty coffee cake, because I made a mug cake, coffee cake, and really, tastefully, truthfully, it wasn't the best. So here is the homemade one. And I've made it before, but I like to eat these. I like to eat these, eat this kind of stuff, and I like to drink some tea. So this is about 5 pieces. Here is the coffee cake. 2 tablespoons butter. This is a half a batch, and it went over the sides, and I was so happy because when the sides were done, I ate the sides before the coffee cake was done. Okay, 2 tablespoons butter. This is the whole recipe. 4 cups pancake mix, and you know I got some of those at the pantry. We're going to talk about that. 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/2 cup sugar, 1.5 cups milk. So I had frozen milk that I got for $1.97. So you want to freeze everything. 2 eggs, a 1/4 cup canola oil or butter. I had some vegetable oil, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. You mix that up, or you could use your own cake mix, like a yellow cake mix. Then for the streusel topping, 1/2 cup pancake mix, 1/4 cup brown sugar, 1/4 cup unsalted butter. So I put all, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. So I mixed all the dry ingredients, then I put the butter, the cold butter, and I used my pastry cutter, and I put that on top. So the streusel is really good. You can make a streusel with some kind of cooked fruit. Okay, so now let me give you the good mug cake. 6 tablespoons cake mix, 4 tablespoons water, and microwave 1 to 1.5 minutes. And I might as well give you my lemonade recipe at the same time. I've made this all kinds of ways, the lemonade, with you know, artificial sugar. Sometimes I would go years without, and this is peppermint tea. I would go years with no sugar. So here's the peppermint tea. Okay, no. Okay, and here's the rice. For food storage, I like the short grain rice because it takes less time to cook. And if we ever had to cook with butane, that would be important. So am I going to be suffering eating my canned chili? No, I'm not going to be suffering, not one single bit. Am I going to be starving? No, I am not going to be starving. If you don't have chili, just use any old kind of soup. That's what I do. Is coffee cake. If you have to go to like a church thing and you take a big coffee cake, I mean, it's the cheapest, easiest thing to do. You'll be a star. The trick to this is it's not really sweet and it's got a slightly salty taste. So get this recipe whatever you do. All right, no. Once you get a food storage, you can save a little money. So what is bad is that we can see, like, one example is this soup, which is literally 30% more than it was not a short time ago. If you've been following me, you remember. So I'm stocking up on soup. Again, I'm looking for good deals, like the tomato soup for 97 cents. And you could have soup every day. Okay, so now I also stockpiled, I bought bacon for $2 at Grocery Outlet. So that, I'm going to be cooking that too. Okay, I have noticed when I've been trying to help people that 99.9% were not listening. We're not going to listen, had no intention of listening. They had a whole different agenda, like living with me. I go, yeah, right. Okay, so the less money they have, the less cooking they want to do. Basically, they're not functioning that well, or they just do not want to cook. I mean, they're so busy doing nothing, okay? I keep my eye out for these. These are really good, but look how little they are. Compare and contrast. But they are $1.25, and when they have them, I buy a lot. Okay, so you don't want to cook. Okay, make a meal. It doesn't have to be an expensive meal, but it is a meal every day. Then eat it all. What I do is, like on this, I will eat it, and then tomorrow I will finish it off probably. I eat a lot. Okay, can we survive a lower standard of living? Oh, sure, I've been doing it my entire life. Not on purpose, it just happened. Okay, 10.7% of Americans age 65 or older live in poverty. Okay, that is a lie. 14,000 people, this is a lie too, live in cars, vans, or RVs. I think it's a lot more. Okay, now let's think about the dangers. So we're looking at the future. We're older, or maybe we're not older. The dangers. Inflation can outpace the income. Oh, easily, unless you can raise your income 30%, or if you can save 30%, and we're going to go into my methods. Can't afford a paid-for house. I'm sad to tell you that I know people this happened to. Now, my mother-in-law, she really couldn't afford her house, but she managed to hang on to it until the day she died. Lost all their money on investments. Okay, they're like sharks. They see you coming when you have your retirement, and believe me, bad things have happened to people I know. Get sick. Okay, sickness can really gobble up your money, and it can also wreck your standard of living, and it can also leave you in a nursing home. Real estate crash. Oh, that's a bad one. My mother-in-law's house went from $850,000 to 430. So you think, oh, I'm doing fine. You're in a house you can't afford, and you lose half of your equity. Unforeseen disasters. We'll go into that in a minute. Death of a spouse. Okay, when your spouse dies, all of a sudden half as much money. 8, work until you die if you can. Monetary collapse. Okay, and an economic collapse is a breakdown of a national region or territory economy that typically follows a time of crisis. 2 examples would be the G country and the U country. Okay, the people had little to no control over this, and they're the ones that have been suffering the most. Okay, now I'm seeing propaganda. Okay, I mentioned to you that I spent a long time studying healthcare and nursing. Okay, now this is what I'm seeing is 2 kinds of propaganda. I will give you an example. I know a person that had an accident and she got a traumatic head injury and died. On the other hand, it was described as she bumped her head. That is why usually, like if you have a trial, it's more than one witness. So I'm looking at these freed hostages. Do these people look like they have been suffering starvation? I have known people who have suffered starvation, and it never goes away in the eyes. It's like brain damage, kind of brain damage. Does this person look like they're having post-traumatic stress syndrome? They're describing these horrific incidences, and I'm thinking, I was a hairstylist for all kinds of veterans that had post-traumatic stress syndrome. It was bad when they came back. Okay, now dehydration. Does this person look dehydrated or look like they've been dehydrated? So all the things they claim, I'm thinking, is this a bump on the head or is this a traumatic brain injury? So there could be 2 ways to evaluate. 1, it wasn't that bad for them, and 2, what we're doing is not that bad. So okay, that's on that, but that's just something. Okay, now no, let's talk about money saving. All right, now think about aggressive savings. So you might be thinking, I don't care how much I aggressively save, I cannot save. Well, if we knew the future was dismal, we probably might be able to. Okay, aggressive saving is described as saving 30% of your income. So what is interesting about this aggressive savings? 30% is approximately the inflation, what the inflation has done. 30% is what the wealthy people save. So we're thinking about this 30%, but it would be much better if we save 50 to 75%. Right. Okay, now, so what we're doing is we're looking to save on the micro level. Okay, my beef, what are those things called? Little Smokies? Yeah, I saved, where is one? I saved 30%. I sometimes, here's one. This is the micro level savings. think about today. Today I spent no money, so I saved 100%. Okay, I mentioned to you guys that I was trying to do $50 a week petty cash. Okay, so I revised that to $20 every 3 days and $0 on the 7th day. So today I spent $0. Then tomorrow I give myself $20 for the next 3 days. Now I can spend that or not. If not, or a portion on the next 3 days, I give myself $20 and say I didn't spend any, I would have $40. And then it cycles on the next week. So I go from $7.14 a day to $5.43 a day, because on the $20 days, I take $1 out. So why? Well, because in the week, I have 8 increments. In the month, I have 8 increments of $20. And if I take $1 out, I have an extra day at the $7 rate, just by saving $1. So now think about this, $38 petty cash as opposed to $50. That is 24%. That's not 30%, but that is going to help. Okay, now also so you're stockpiling food, you're reducing your expenses every place you can without total and complete misery making. Okay, I'm trying to grow a year-round garden, and it's coming okay, except for my garden is attracting a lot of hungry, my soy is doing good inside. I'm afraid it can't go back outside. Today when I was out there, I had a bunch of crows circling, like, what are you doing in my yard? I think they're the culprits. All right, so once I grow this soy, then I'm going to be able to have soy milk and soybeans, and mainly, once again, I'm trying to get seeds. So if you're an urban senior, you want to grow food indoors, in the windowsill, on your balcony. I think my mint plant. Okay, so now remember yesterday I stockpiled mint. How about just growing a great big mint plant? Last year my mints got full of bug holes, so that was kind of unappetizing. Now, if you have a food storage and you go to a food bank, a food pantry, a food church, you get EBT, and you eat out of your stockpile, and you go to the pantry, it is possible to save for that week all of your grocery money. So we go back to the $20 every 3 days. So let's say you were willing, because you thought about the dangers and because you really evaluated, are you doing as well as you think you are? Most poor people, honestly, they think they're in the middle class and they're not. So think about food. We can reduce there. Think about water. I refill mine, and here's another example. It went up from 35 cents to 50 cents to refill. That is a 30% increase. The cola is going up. Okay, house and utilities. Okay, one of the biggest issues with house that I see, trying to avoid wear and tear and repairs. And then utilities, like right now I'm in my kitchen and there's not another light in this entire house. Okay, so what I had yesterday was Top Ramen, the good one, for 60 cents, and Little Smokies, 1/4 cup. I also could have the Little Smokies in baked beans. I also could have made a tasty little omelet. Okay, now let's go here. Bacon. milk. These are foods I bought reduced. Cheese, yogurt, cereal, eggs, pancake mix. So a lot of them I got at Grocery Outlet, but I also get reduced food at Walmart. Okay, now. One of the problems that's causing the inflation, this is what they said: demand is outpacing the supply. Well, what they do is they don't put that much out. People see only a little bit, and it causes hoarding. It causes, like, you know, one example is when I see these, I buy a lot because I think, well, I'm not going to be able to get them at this good price. Okay, now think about fruit, just real quick. Citrus fruit. So back to the lemonade. If you have reconstituted lemon and lime and you have canned pineapple, you can kind of, fruit is tricky. Like in Russia during the war, they were having problems getting the bananas. The bananas got there rotten. Apples last longer. And then peanut butter is really a good thing to stockpile. All right, so now think about, it's not just a price increase on new stuff, it's also a price increase on thrift store stuff. But I buy at half price. But even as thrifty as I am at a thrift store, I showed you the sweater. It was a nice sweater, but it was used and it wasn't in pristine condition. I paid $15. It had the tags, and yeah, it was a $100 golf sweater, but that's a high in a thrift store. Purses, those are $12 if you don't get them reduced. Vase, this lovely vase was $14.99. That's high for a thrift store, but I thought it's brass, it lasts forever. And coats. Okay, so now think about your money. Really, what is your money? It's survivalism. It's giving you the chance to make sure you have food, water, gas, and cash. You need cash. All right, I want to mention some cheap meals. Bologna and cheese sandwich. That's cheap. You can get by on a sandwich, a small fruit or vegetable, and a Coke. Tuna sandwich, chicken wrap with fresh vegetables, eggs and hash browns. The way I make hash browns, I just grate the hash browns are expensive out. That's nuts. I grate the potatoes and I fry them on one side. You know, I make a little pile. I fry them on one side. I flip them. I make some eggs and some toast. Beans and weenies. This could be pork and beans, and you can make it the same way. The thing that's kind of nice about pork and beans is the next day you can eat them on toast with eggs. Sardines and rice. So rice is your friend. Spam and eggs with toast. What I like to do is I just put the whole spam in the oven. I bake it. I put a little barbecue sauce. I make some potatoes or some rice or some macaroni cheese and some green beans or corned beef. I just put a little oil on the corned beef, salt and pepper, not salt, and I bake it 350. Beef stew or chicken curry. Chili. Okay, think about this in the large can. Salmon, corned beef, canned hams. I find them to be a better deal than Spams, and corned beef. All right, cereal and milk. I eat that almost every day. Oatmeal. Bagel and peanut butter, and make your own peanut butter. Bean and cheese burrito, granola and yogurt. I make my own yogurt. I just sit around and eat yogurt as much as I want. I make it homemade, you know. Okay, top ramen, canned soup, and crackers with cheese and peanut butter. Top ramen or canned soup. Grilled cheese sandwich, beans and cornbread, spaghetti and garlic bread, macaroni and cheese with fish sticks or a fish sandwich or, you know, hot dog, whatever you have. No. For meat. Chicken, hamburger, bacon, ground turkey, and then potatoes, rice, and frozen vegetables. You can get by on that for dinner. So you're making a meal, and then I will be making some like cakes, like pies, like they used to in the olden days. They didn't buy mixes, but if you have mixes, you want to use them up. Okay, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all.